This story is very tragic, and there's plenty to feel righteously indignant about. However, the thing I did want to point out is, remember in 2009 when they insisted on the news, PolitiFact said it so it must be true, that there is no possibility of death panels existing. Well, here in the UK, a death panel, so to speak, I think it's a ripe term, has decided that this baby, he's less than 1 year old, who was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder, should be put to death. Excuse me, no, he should die with dignity. That's what they said. The parents were able to gather quite a lot of money in order to go to America, where a doctor had offered to take a look at their son. Well, the UK court told them no. Literally, that's what happened. So let's take a look at this article, because it's something else. Terminally ill baby Charlie Gard's parents utterly distraught after losing final appeal in European court, meaning that their son's life support will be switched off. Chris Gard and Connie Yates wanted their son to undergo treatment in America. Their baby Charlie suffers from a rare genetic condition and has brain damage. Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children wanted Charlie to die with dignity. The European Court of Human Rights today rejected his parents' final appeal. The parents of terminally ill baby Charlie Gard are utterly distraught and facing fresh heartbreak after losing their final appeal in the European Court of Human Rights. Chris Gard, 32, and Connie Yates, 31, wanted to take their 10-month-old son, who suffers from a rare genetic condition and has brain damage, to the U.S. to undergo a therapy trial. Doctors at Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children in London, where Charlie is being cared for, said they wanted him to be able to die with dignity. But the couple from Bedfont, West London, raised almost £1.4 million so they could take their son to America, but a series of courts ruled in favor of the British doctors. It comes after specialists at Great Ormond Street said therapy in the U.S. is experimental and would not help, and added that life support should stop. And after losing legal battles in the UK, Charlie's parents were hoping judges in Strasbourg, France would come to their aid. But on Tuesday afternoon, the ECHR rejected a last-ditch plea, and their final decision means that the baby's life support machine will be switched off. The ECHR announced the application to the court by the parents was inadmissible and added that their decision was final. Mr. Gard and Miss Yates have yet to comment on today's decision, however. Their Twitter account, Charlie's Fight, retweeted a number of messages. One said, "The Charlie Gard case is terrible. Shame on the UK judges allowing him to die. Shameful, terrible decision." Another message the account retweeted was, "Very evil people. Sentencing a child to death. What an anti-child pagan society we are. I pray for Charlie Gard." Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children today said that their thoughts are with Charlie's parents and said that the decision marks the end of a difficult process. Their statement read, "Our thoughts are with Charlie's parents on the receipt of this news that we know will be very distressing for them. Today's decision by the European Court of Human Rights marks the end of what has been a very difficult process, and our priority is to provide every possible support to Charlie's parents as we prepare for the next steps." Well, that support doesn't mean life support for their son, I take it, right? "There will be no rush by Great Ormond Street Hospital to change Charlie's care, and any future treatment plans will involve careful planning and discussion." A statement from the ECHR said, "Today, the European Court of Human Rights has, by a majority, endorsed in substance the approach by the domestic courts and thus declared the application inadmissible. The decision is final." The case concerned Charlie Gard, a baby suffering from a rare and fatal genetic disease. In February 2017, the treating hospital sought a declaration from the domestic courts as to whether it would be lawful to withdraw artificial ventilation and provide Charlie with palliative care. Which is really just colorful language for letting him die. Charlie's parents also asked the courts to consider whether it would be in the best interest of their son to undergo experimental treatment in the U.S. The domestic courts concluded that it would be lawful for the hospital to withdraw life-sustaining treatment because it was likely that Charlie would suffer significant harm if his present suffering was prolonged without any realistic prospect of improvement, and the experimental therapy would be of no effective benefit. The domestic court decisions have been meticulous, thorough, and reviewed at 3 levels of jurisdiction with clear and extensive reasoning, giving relevant and sufficient support for their decisions. The domestic courts have, or had, direct contact with all those concerned. All right, I'm done reading this article. This is some stupid ass nonsense. Hiding behind the law now because they know it's wrong. They won't even give them permission to take the kid to America. They won't let it because, I'm going to go ahead and read this again to reiterate. The domestic courts concluded that it would be lawful for the hospital to withdraw life-sustaining treatment because it was likely that Charlie would suffer significant harm if his present suffering, pardon my fucking words up, was prolonged without any realistic prospect of improvement, and the experimental therapy would be of no effective benefit. How do you know it wouldn't be of any effective benefit? This is why we shouldn't have socialized healthcare, folks. This right here. They have the money, but they're being ordered by the courts to let their son die. When someone tells you that socialized healthcare is the best thing for everybody, that it cares for everyone as opposed to just each individual looking out for themselves, I would encourage you to show them this article. Because when you put people together in a big, large group, everyone starts to compare, okay, who's worth more? Who's the best? Rather than when you're looking after yourself, you can look after yourself. You're always going to have your own best interests at heart. I remember, I think it was 2009 when they talked about death panels, referring to Obamacare. And CNN, all the mainstream media outlets, I think except Fox, would insist, no, there's no such thing as death panels. This will never happen. PolitiFact even made it their lie of the year. Death panels, this will never... come on. Well, apparently in Britain, where their progressive politics are about a decade ahead of us, that's exactly what's going on there. And they just ruled to let this child die. Not even just to let this child die, but to force him to die. Where, yeah, he wasn't guaranteed a bill of good health when he got to America. At the same time, why were these parents not allowed to try everything possible to keep their son alive? It both breaks my heart and infuriates me. Fills me with a fire that I can't exactly adequately articulate right now. But I needed to share this with you because this is one of the most fucked up things I've ever read, and this is exactly why I'm against socialized healthcare. I didn't realize it until just now, because there's a lot of other reasons I'm against socialized healthcare, but this right fucking here, this is bullshit. So anyway, let me know what you think about this bullshit in the comments below. Link to the full article in the description as usual, and I will see you all later.